along to week 2, phase 2, day 1 of our ongoing video series, Digitisation of the Landlord Lifecycle, which we are producing in association with our friends and partners at Landlord. And we are so proud of this groundbreaking content where we are showcasing all the parts of the landlord life cycle that can be digitized, along with also highlighting the sectors of our industry that are already digitized or approaching digitization. And I'm joined on this call by Avram Shah, CEO and co-founder of Landlord. And Avram, we're in the second phase, which is the acquisition phase, and that is quite a short period, maybe 2 to 4 months, where the landlord is going through the actual legal process of acquiring a property, getting their name on the title on the Land Registry, and of course, finance is involved with that. And as we stated at the end of last week when we were speaking to Phil Stewardson, you know, bottom line, finance is the lifeblood of a property business. Without it, well, you're not going to move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the main things you need to make sure you know how you're going to get it, what are the requirements, and basically, are you meeting the different criteria items of the lenders that are out there for buy-to-let properties. So definitely, without that, it will be very hard to start a property journey.
Yes, because when you go to an estate agent, they want to know that you are proceedable. And that means that when you put in an offer in a property, they will be seeking evidence that you can actually complete on that transaction. And obviously, if you can't show that evidence, then you're not going to move forwards with that property. So I'm going to talk for just a few moments about finance from a landlord perspective. I'm not a mortgage broker. I'm going to be speaking from my own experience. I've been a portfolio landlord since 2004. And of course, when I started out, we had brokers on the end of a phone line and everything was done by paper. So wow, how things have changed actually for the better, as we hope to prove in this video. But the bottom line is that you need to get your financial house in order before you start putting offers in on properties. And let's look at buy-to-let financing. Even if you have very significant cash funds, it wouldn't be the most prudent thing to buy properties outright for cash, because we all know that the true way to wealth in property is leveraged buy-to-let. And that means using a small amount of your money to control a large asset where a lender has put in typically around 75% of the value of the property. Leverage is extremely powerful, and it's one of the most attractive things about being involved in buy-to-let. So whether you're a cash buyer or you've only got enough finance to, you know, for one deposit on one buy-to-let, you're going to need to work with buy-to-let lenders. And there's a whole raft of them out there, and they all have different criteria. But I just wanted to share with you a couple of the things that you do need. Number one is most lenders typically like to see a minimum salary of £25,000 per annum. There are lenders that will consider less than that, and there are lenders that will consider no income at all. But as a general rule, you'll need to have a salary of around 25,000 or more per annum. If you are self-employed, you will probably need at least 3 years accounts to be able to show your self-employed income. You will also need a very clean credit rating that will certainly help you get better rates and better products. And I would recommend that you join a service like Experian or Equifax, or Noodle, I think is another one, and they give you a monthly update of your credit position. And it's very useful to keep an eye on your credit rating, make sure that it's accurately reflecting your position, and you can see that your credit rating is improving, hopefully, and you can get access to deals and things like better credit card rates and third like that. So for the small amounts of monthly payment, it's definitely worth maintaining your credit rating to make sure you are credit worthy. The third thing is it's just a good idea, or probably the best position to be in to actually own your own home. Most lenders do prefer that. There are some lenders that will accept people that live in rental accommodation. But if you want access to the best rates, then it's best that you live in your own home. Most lenders like to see you've lived there 2 or 3 years. And I strongly recommend that you get yourself on the electoral roll, because that will help with your application, because the lender will see that you are entrenched in that residential property. So Avram, everything I'm saying really, it's all about getting yourself in a position to get the most favorable rates, and that's just a sensible thing to do, isn't it? You know, whether you're starting out or you're well into your property journey, you need to maintain your credit worthiness, because otherwise you won't be able to grow.
Yes, of course. And one of I don't know if it's one of, or even the main goal when we just started Landlord, we started with that, was to help landlords arrange their finance. And the idea was that if you are organized, and as you mentioned, you're like on top of the things and you have everything in place in a digital way, then you can let the technology find the opportunities for you. So basically, on Landlord, if you have a Landlord account and you keep the portfolio details up to date, we have engine that basically search the market for you and match the relevant products, the most optimal products for a new mortgage or for a remortgage, and also for bridging finance, based on your profile, based on your current situation, and based on the market. So if there are like better rates or new products, you will know about it without even the need to search. So you can see the opportunities coming in, and we will demonstrate how basically the engine works and can do this matching in a high accuracy.
Yes, and I think it's really useful when you understand what financial products you have access to. It brings massive clarity to the direction you can take, because there's no point in saying, oh, I'm going to get into HMOs when you don't qualify for HMO finance. So, when people come into the sector, they're often overwhelmed with all the different things they can do. But if they go through the process of a questionnaire with a broker, the broker will quickly be able to tell them the financial products that they have access to with their individual circumstances, and that will help them find a way forward that's actually realistic, because everything sounds great in theory, but when you actually get down to the practicalities of it, there may be some reason why you can't access a certain financial product, and that road is blocked to you. And I think it's so important for anybody that's thinking of going on one of these really expensive property training courses is get yourself checked out for finance first. There is no point in spending 20 or 30,000 pounds on some kind of property academy or mentorship if it turns out that you do not qualify for buy-to-let finance. And one of the things that I hope to do as part of the work that I do in this area is I really want to encourage property educators to vet people first for finance before they take people's money. Because as we've been saying, Avram, if you can't access finance, you're going to be really, really stuck. So let's move forward now with regards to, getting your house in order. We mentioned that brokers will do a fact-finding kind of discussion with you initially, and they will tell you products that you may have access to. Then you can take that a step further using something like the Landlord Finance Hub. And I think one of the key things about this, Avram, is it feeds into the deal analyzer, because you will get indicative terms of the kind of products and rates you can access with your circumstances, and that helps you kind of finesse your deal stacking, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So if you use Landlord, it's first integrated to the analysis tools. So if you analyze a new property deal, you can see which products are available for you to finance this deal. And if you need a bridging finance, you can discover the rate that is available for you. And of course, on an ongoing basis, what we do is basically we have an engine that runs and also search for remortgage opportunities, or if you have a fixed rate that is about to expire, what are your options now even if you stay with the same lender or you remortgage to a different lender. So you can see everything on your landlord account in a digital way, also available from your mobile. So yeah.
Yeah, because we're talking about the acquisition phase at the moment, just by concentrating on buying one property. But as a landlord, if you are looking to grow your portfolio, you are going to need access to finance for your entire landlord life. And you're going to start branching out into things like remortgages, where you can release equity and buy another property. You're going to start looking at things like, second charges, further advances, bridging finance. So, finance isn't something you're only going to need once. If you're intending to grow a portfolio, it's going to be an ongoing requirement. And we all know, Avram, that the financial products for landlords, that they're changing, literally on a daily basis. And the other thing about digital is that you have a feed from the lenders, and the landlord platform will update with the newest products. And we've discussed this before, haven't we, that there could be a product that comes out which only has a limited tranche of money. It could be really, really favorable. It could help you move forward when there's no other products that will. If you have access to this kind of intel, it's definitely going to make you really have the edge on other landlords that don't.
No, absolutely. Yes. And the thing that is that you can get the data instantly and, without even search for it. So basically it's just a matter if you maintain everything online and in a digital way. So yeah.
Yeah. This is what we love about digital, because so many things integrate, interface, feed into it, that makes your life so much simpler. And as Avram said, instead of going searching for stuff, the stuff comes to you. And I just think that's just an amazing concept to really consider if you're an analog landlord and you're struggling to move across to digital tools. Think about how, if everything came to you, tailored to your circumstances, rather than you going to have to hunt through everything. I think it's a very important concept to grasp. So Avram, you're going to give us a very quick demo of the Landlord Finance Hub, and this was set up as part of the Landlord platform to help landlords quickly and efficiently find the best product for what they're trying to achieve. So we're going to have a very quick look through it. And obviously, we are slightly time restricted, but if you should require a further look at this, we have a number of webinars that go into more detail. You've also got the chat option on Landlord, and you've also got the possibility to book a personal demo with the Landlord team. So that all of those options are open to you if you want to dive deeper into this software. So yeah, if you could take it away, Avram.
Yeah, thanks, Vanessa. So basically, I will show two things briefly. And as you said, we have webinars on those aspects of the platform, and we will do more during the next in the upcoming months. So first, if you maintain your portfolio on your landlord account, go to My Portfolio. This is the place to put all the property. So the first thing, in order to understand what finance you can get, is to go to this link, Available Lenders. So assuming you already entered your data, on this page, you will see the aggregation of your mortgages based on the applicant. So in this account, I have several owners, John, Kate, Ivan, myself, and someone that I call just new for the example. And I also have some company mortgages. So if I want to apply now for a new mortgage, just John, so John holds 3 properties, he has 3 mortgages. The platform stress tests your portfolio like the lenders will do, and then come up with the ICR number. It also takes into account the minimum income that you can put, the level of income, just to see if you cross the limit or not, and the overall portfolio loan to value that some lenders will take a look on, and also the number of mortgages with each lender, etc. And then on the bottom of the page, you can see the lenders that are available for you for a new mortgage, and the lenders that are not available, and what is the reason. So if for instance, the ICR is too low based on the rate that the lender expects to stress test your portfolio. So instantly you can understand which lenders will not lend you money on your current situation. But let's say that John now applies together with Kate. So together they have 15 properties, and then the list is changing, and the reasons also are like different. And also you see that some lenders will not deal with more than 10 properties with the mortgages. And of course, you can play around with the different options to apply with partners, or if you apply, let's say, by yourself. You can also take a look on the company lenders that are available, etc. So this is the first step. The second step is the engine that works for you. So you can see on your dashboard the potential savings. So this is the results of the engine that come up with opportunities to remortgage, even if it's like during the fixed period. So it calculates the penalties that you will pay. And you can see the opportunities to remortgage on the insights page. And if you click proceed, you will see, okay, so I have an option to remortgage to a BM solution and to improve the rate to this, and save basically this amount on a monthly basis. And you have also several different options. So this is the insights. But if you want to do something on demand, you can go to the mortgage search page and basically put some put a case that you want to check and see which lenders are available for you, and also what are the current rates that you can get. You can do a purchase application, but you can also do remortgage. And if you do remortgage, you will get the list of all of your properties for my portfolio here. So you just need to select the property, and all the details of this property will be fulfilled automatically, and you can search and see the results. Now, if you are not a landlord user yet, or you just want to do a quick process, you can go to our website and click on the Finance Hub. The Finance Hub contains several questionnaires that will also help you understand your options. So for instance, if I go to buy to let mortgage from the Finance Hub, I will see a list of the available lenders on the right side. So currently we support around like 50 lenders. And based on the answers that you will answer, like for the questions on the left side, you will see the list of lenders that you meet the criteria for. So for instance, if you have a large portfolio, you see that there are less lenders that can support your potential case. The portfolio loan to value, also something, and this is not the specific property, this is the entire portfolio leverage. So there are lenders that will take a look on it as well. The minimum income, as Vanessa mentioned, so it's also something that many lenders will take a look. The tax band will help them understand when they stress test the rental cover ratio. So it takes into account also your income tax band, and also the territory. If it's a limited company or you apply, you know, as an individual, the estimated property value, how much you want to borrow, and then look at this. So basically here you see the rental income sorry for that, what is the test for the rental income. So in this case, I have £2,400. If I reduce it to 1,200, you see I have only 5 lenders left. Why? Because the expected income from this property is not satisfy the mortgage payment. So you can play with it and see like what is the minimum level to get more lenders that are available for me based on the expected rental income of the property.
Yeah, I was just going to jump in there, Abraham, if you don't mind, because I think that's a very important point that that slide has raised, and that is that buy-to-let lending is actually based far more on the rent that the property will achieve than your individual circumstances, although you do have to meet some criteria. And I think it's a really interesting way to work out what you're willing to pay for a property is to look at what the rental income achievable is and use the lender's calculation, and that will tell you how much finance you can raise on that property. And I actually have some ready-made little calculations on Property Tribes that I can put a link to underneath this, so you can get a rough idea of how much borrowing a certain rental income will support, because as Avram's demonstrated here, the higher the rental income, the higher the borrowing, but obviously it's got to be commensurate with the actual value of the property, because you won't be able to borrow more than the property's worth just because it achieves a very good rent. So I think that's just an interesting thing just to jump in there. Forgive me, Avram.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. Yeah, so after you put this, then you will go to the results page, and here, based on the data that you entered, our engine will search the products that are available from the lenders that you just saw, and then you will get it in a list. Another thing that is important is to take a look on the fees. So it really depends on the size of the loan, but because some of the fees are a percentage from the entire loan amount, but you need to take, so because of that, we order this table by the total cost. So it also includes the fees. In this case, it's 2 years fixed. So what is the total cost for 2 years, including the fees? So even if you have 1.41%, perhaps it's better to take the higher rate because it's lower fees. So it's also something that it's worth taking a look at when you take a look on the products. And of course,
yes, and also Avram, you know, we get asked a lot on Property Tribes whether I should go for a 2-year fixed rate or a 5-year fixed rate. Well, you know, a fixed rate does give certainty, and we are in very uncertain times. We've had the first base rate rise for a very, very long time. And the thing is that the fees on a 2-year fixed rate mortgage are pretty much the same as on a 5-year fixed rate mortgage. So it kind of makes sense to me, unless you're wanting to do something with that property, like sell it within 2 years or something, or refinance within 2 years. It makes sense to me to go for the longer rate. And as we can see on the screen there, you do have the choice of looking at the term of the fixed rate period, and it's great to see some 10-year fixes coming out now as well. So that's an exciting kind of development that's happened probably in the last 2 or 3 years, that lenders are going for these longer rates that give even more certainty. But of course, it's up to the individual investor, isn't it, Avram? Because everybody's got a kind of different attitude to risk and what kind of certainties they want.
No, absolutely. Yeah. The disadvantage of 10 years is that if you have opportunity, then basically you need to pay penalties in order to do a remortgage or to pay back the loan. Yeah, by the way, another thing is the loan to value of the deal. So now I decrease the loan to 200, and then you can see that the rate went a bit lower. So it also something that the lenders take into account when they so each product basically has its own loan to value limits.
Yeah, because there are some lenders out there with, like NatWest actually, with very good rates, but their loan to values are a lot lower. So you have the opportunity to put in a much higher deposit if you choose to do that and get a better rate. So it's so interesting just to see all these results, because these are live results from the mortgage integration tool that Landlord is connected with. So these are actual live mortgage products out there at the moment. And as we say, you know, they can change on a daily basis. Now, Avram, if somebody is a newbie and they don't have any properties, can they still use Landlord and still use the Finance Hub?
Yeah, absolutely. So they just need to put number of properties at 0.
Mm-hmm.
And then they will not be counted as a portfolio landlord. And if they have the deposit and if they have good property with good rental income, there is no reason that they will not get a mortgage. And they have the right income and all of those important things. But you don't have to be with an existing portfolio to get a buy-to-let mortgage. No.
No, of course. And actually, as you've pointed out, once you get 4 or more properties, you are deemed to be a portfolio landlord, and it actually does get quite a bit more challenging to get finance. So that's just something to bear in mind. Again, how a digital tool like this could really help you find your way through what you are qualified for and what isn't available to you. I think it's really interesting, Avram, because we've talked about this as the landlord life cycle, but what will actually happen in reality is that people will almost go round in a loop, won't they? Because they'll buy a property, it will go into their management phase, and then when they want to acquire another property, they may refinance something, or they may have extra cash to go for another property, so then they'll jump back to the pre-acquisition, acquisition, and then that property will go into the management and growth phase. And really the My Portfolio page it's kind of the dashboard for your management and growth phase, isn't it? Because all your properties go in there, and then you see which properties could be remortgaged, where the finance opportunities are, and then you'll kind of sit on that, almost like your home page as a landlord, would you say?
No, absolutely. The My Portfolio page is the place to store all of your details, and we will touch it, I think, on week 4, if I'm not mistaken. And as you said, it's a cycle. So you purchase a property, you add them to your My Portfolio. So basically, you can manage on an ongoing basis and manage the cash flow. Then, if you want to refinance, you go to the insights page, you see which the increased profit section, which remortgage opportunities you currently have, and perhaps you can release some funds with also capital raising. And then you go to the deal analyzer that basically we demonstrated in week 1, and you can start analyzing new property deals with the money that you release as a deposit and get another buy-to-let mortgage. So yes, it can be a cycle. The only thing is that you need cash, make sure that you have enough. And we spoke about it when we spoke about the deal analyzer and how you mitigate the risk, how you take into account all the expected costs.
Yeah,
definitely. And if you use Landlord, is designed exactly for that, because you can manage your existing properties, but also you can manage your pipeline, and you can get better, make better decisions to grow your property portfolio with our analysis tools and mortgage.
Now, I just wanted to clarify something, Avram, because we're talking about digital tools and digital integration, but we're not saying there's no broker involved, because actually, you know, Landlord was co-founded by a broker. So where does the broker come in? They're really kind of there to support and move the application forward, aren't they? And we should also say that one of the other advantages of digital is that it has like an audit tracking facility, so you can see exactly what stage your application is at, and it will tell you if you're missing documents or you need to do something. A bit like when you order something from Amazon, you get a tracking link and it says your parcel's at the local depot or it's with the courier. So that's the other advantage of digital, I think, as well, that it has this tracking capability and functionality.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And regarding the broker, yeah, it's important note. So you will need, for some of the lenders, for sure, a broker in order to deliver the finance and basically get the funds. So at Landlord, we will release, it's not like yet a digital broker, so you will also have an online application. So you can start the mortgage process online, and offline Landlord as a, with its broking services will be in touch with the lenders, but from the customer points of view, it will be fully online process. All the documents management, as you mentioned, will be a digital way, much more streamlined, and you will know at any point what stage are you in right now and what is the next step, and everything will be available from your mobile. Currently, this is the way we monetize the platform. Currently, we refer you to work with our broker partner, and of course, we have users that use their own broker. And there are some lenders that also available for applying direct. Of course, remember that it's still like an engine, and you still need humans for some of the things. And, you know, in order to assess the engine results, it's recommended, of course, to do it with our broker or with your broker, and soon it will be also like part of the online process.
Okay, well, I feel that we've only really been able to scratch the surface of what Landlord can do, but we hope that we've given you, you know, a good starting overview of finance for landlords. You know, we are kind of aiming this towards newcomers because we want this to be kind of like a seminal series that when a new landlord comes onto Property Tribes, we have got this series of videos, which is also going to be made into an ebook as well, with some further information and graphics and all that good stuff. We almost wanted to provide like a digital roadmap, didn't we, Avram? So that it was just always there to help landlords take a step forwards. But of course, as we have stated, you're going to be kind of going round in a loop as you build your portfolio, and the Landlord software helps you deal with all the different phases of the landlord life cycle, and that's really what we're kind of showcasing throughout our video series. So any final thoughts, Avram? Anything you think we've missed that maybe we should have mentioned?
I think for today we covered, you know, again, like in a high level, but of course, people that want to get more information about the Finance Hub, so feel free to approach our team members, or even on Property Tribes, we will answer questions on the thread, or just use the chat box on Landlord. And yes, and stay tuned for the next videos.
Yeah, well, tomorrow we're going to be speaking to a commercial lawyer, Alan Zeffert of Anthony Gold Solicitors, and Alan is going to be talking to us about the actual legal process of acquiring an investment property and getting it you know, on the Land Registry with your name on the title. And Alan has been a solicitor in conveyancing for over 30 years, and he's got some great insights to share, because really important to understand that you know, one of the great things about the property market in the UK is the legal robustness behind it, the fact that we've got the Land Registry, which incidentally is going through digitisation as we speak, and you know, it gives people confidence to buy because they know they get their title on the Land Registry, and it gives lenders security. And of course, you know, lenders are looking for security when they're offering finance, aren't they, Avram? So they're looking at the property, you know, probably a bit more than the actual lender, the person wanting to borrow, as we said. So we hope you've enjoyed today's call. Join me tomorrow for the call with Alan Zeffert. We're going to stay in the acquisition phase for the next week, and at the end of the week we're actually going to be talking about bridging finance, because that's another tool in the landlord's toolbox that you may want to reach for at some point in your career. So please do stay tuned. But for now, thank you for watching today, and please, we'd love to hear some feedback about these videos, wouldn't we, Avram, because we do feel that we're doing something quite groundbreaking here, and we're just helping landlords so much to move forward with the benefits, the many benefits of digital tools. So we'd really love some feedback, wouldn't we?
No, absolutely. Feedback is great for us as well, like to enhance the platform and provide you with more service, and also help you be more digital. So yeah.
Yeah. So 2022 is the year of the digital landlord, if we have got anything to do with it at all. So thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. But for now, it's goodbye from Avram. And yes, stay tuned. We've got some more fantastic guests to come.